much for coming. We stand between you and drinks, which is a dangerous time, but we hope to energize you so that the drinks become even more fun. So the debate, we know what the motion is. We will have 3 speakers proposing and 3 speakers opposing. The way we will run this is that in the classic format, we will have the proposer speak first. They will have 5 minutes, then the opposing team 5 minutes, and it's the same for the next 2 speakers. And then they will have 1 person round up using 4 minutes. My role is as the timekeeper, and as the timekeeper, the teams already know I will be brutal. They will be able to see the time, that there's a clock there, and when the clock runs out, if they're still going on, I'm going to tell them to stop. Now, the topic is about AI. So one of the things, an important point that the 2 teams have agreed on is how wide they would go. So they tell me that AI, they will touch on traditional and contemporary forms of AI. And if you're not sure what that means they will touch on rule-based systems, statistical modeling, data analytics, machine learning, generative AI, and agentic AI, which means they're trying to keep to the full spectrums, but not go into things like robotics. So that is the parameters within which they will keep together. Now, what we will do is, you know the topic. This house believes AI is the most impactful tool for a business to achieve net zero. We ask you first to vote on this. Do you agree or disagree? Can we start voting? You have the yes? Please start voting. We want you to do this because we want to see at the end, we will ask you to vote again so that we can see how persuasive the teams are. So it's not going to be whether you agree with the statement or not. You will vote later on how persuasive the team has been. Yes? Have you all got this? No, not yet? Okay, I'll stand aside for you to vote. You can't scan the background. How about that? How about on the 2 sides? Is that better? Good. Okay, I guess you will be able to show us the vote. The technical team, here we go. Okay, it seems we know the sentiments in the room. May I invite the debating team to come and take their seats, please. So we have the proposing side. Yeah, oh, there we go. You can see, yes. Now, I'm not going to introduce each of the debaters because this is a debate. Don't worry about who they are or which organization they're with. Today is just how good they are in the art of persuasion. Yes. Okay. Can we invite the first speaker on the proposing side? Please.
Good afternoon, everyone. So let's begin with a simple truth. If business is serious about achieving net zero, it cannot afford to ignore AI. Not because it's trendy, but because it's transformational. AI is not just another tool in the sustainability toolkit. It is really the engine that powers everything else. From optimizing energy use in real time to predicting emission across sprawling supply chains, AI is the only tool that can operate at scale, speed, and precision required to meet the urgency of climate goals. In practical terms, AI enables businesses to do more, do better, and do it with fewer resources. Take Google DeepMind. By applying AI to data center cooling, they slash energy consumption by 40%. And that's not a marginal gain, it's a big leap. And it's far from an isolated case. In semiconductor design, AI is helping us shrink chip size while boosting computational capacity. Over the past few years, AI has enabled smartphones to increase compute power by over 300% while consuming less energy. It's the reason our devices are smarter, faster, and last all day on a single charge, thanks to AI design. And here's where it gets even more interesting. AI is now optimizing itself. Just recently, DeepSeek, I'm sure all you heard of DeepSeek, outperformed OpenAI in large language model training, achieving comparable results with just $6 million US dollars versus OpenAI's $100 million. Its API is up to 200 times cheaper than ChatGPT. DeepSeek is able to do that because it has been using dozens of AI optimization techniques. That's AI using AI to become more sustainable. Across industries, AI is helping businesses reduce waste, forecast demand, and greater accuracy, and even detect greenwashing in ESG reporting. These are not just theoretical benefits, they're measurable, scalable, and already in motion. Now, some may argue that AI consumes energy or that policy and human behavior matter more. And they're right to a point. And this is not a binary choice. AI doesn't replace human leadership or policy, it amplifies them. It enables smarter regulation, more transparent reporting, and faster innovation. It's the difference between navigating with a compass and flying with GPS, and AI is definitely flying. China understands this. National strategies like the recent AI Plus initiative and Beautiful China 2025 are embedding AI into the heart of green transformation. Billions are being invested to ensure AI drives low carbon growth, from smart manufacturing to biotechnologies. These programs are not just policy statements, they're backed by infrastructure, talent pipeline, cross-sector partnership designed to scale AI-driven sustainability. The message is clear. AI is not just part of the solution, it's the strategic core. While China's AI Plus strategy is nationally branded initiative, Hong Kong is quietly building a powerful AI-driven sustainability ecosystem as well. With Hong Kong $3 billion allocated to support AI research and supercomputer assets, plus a broader tech blueprint that prioritizes smart manufacturing, green logistics, and ethical AI governance, Hong Kong is leveraging AI to drive its green transformation. Though less centralized, its approach is no less ambitious, focusing on infrastructure, talent, innovation, and embedded sustainability across industries. And let's be honest, if AI can't find the inefficiencies in your business, no one can. Manual audit, spreadsheets, and gut instincts won't get us to net zero. Businesses need systems that learn, adapt, and optimize continuously. That's AI. So yes, AI must be deployed responsibly, it must be governed ethically, but to dismiss it as just another tool is to miss the point. AI is the most impactful force we have, not because it's perfect, but
Thank
because it's
you.
powerful.
Thank you. Thank you. The first member of the opposing team, Jay.
Good evening, everyone. It is a true pleasure to be here with you all. I think there are few things more Cambridge than the opportunity to engage in a rigorous debate. So I'm really, really grateful to be here with you. I want to thank Professor Andy Chen for painting such a compelling picture of AI as a silver bullet for our climate crisis. Using your word, scale, speed, precision, doing things faster, better, with fewer resources. That's all true. I'm not challenging all of that. We all know, without any question, AI is a very powerful enabler. But to say it is the most impactful tool is to confuse a facilitator with the fundamental driver of change. And to make my argument, I'd like to start with demystifying a few claims surrounding the AI hype and sustainability. And the first one is about AI helps reduce emissions more than it creates the energy demand. The example you mentioned about the data center. Well, we all know, the demand for AI computing has really triggered a rapid and massive expansion of the data center everywhere. And you might argue, well, what if all the data center can run on renewables? What if they use solar or wind? But the problem is the data center, the speed of the expansion of the data center is happening faster than the decarbonization of our power grid. So a data center requires the constant and stable power supply that intermittent sources can't always provide. And the large-scale energy storage solutions are not ready yet. So it actually forces them to still rely on fossil fuels in the near future. And don't forget the staggering energy cost of training some LLM models. I know DeepSeek is able to bring the energy and efficiency down, but it still requires a huge amount of that. And the second myth is AI is accessible for all, and even for free sometimes. Well, I'm sure you all heard of that. If you are not paying for the product, you are the product. Thank you. Someone has answered that already. So therefore, to really harness the power of AI, it requires immense capital and the technical infrastructure, which not every business can afford it. So there is a risk of creating a green divide, where you have large corporates can invest the millions or trillions to build the AI center, while some of the SMEs are still trying to survive their business. And what would happen if this diverge? I think we all agree a net zero future should be equitable. It should be accessible to all. It's not just the privilege for the few who can afford it. And my third and the most critical myth is that AI will fundamentally change our system. I disagree. Take the example of AI, the word that Professor Chen mentioned, optimizing, making things better. That's not fundamentally changing the system. That's actually just making a flawed system slightly better, a little bit more efficient. And shouldn't we be questioning the very need for that data center in the first instance, and the unsustainable business models that demand it? And similarly, AI could optimize or enable, choose the word you like, the fast fashion supply chain to reduce the waste. But it won't change the core business model, which is take, make, and dispose. I'm probably preaching to the converted already here. So I want to make the point is doing less harm doesn't equal good. So AI is not fundamentally helping us to pivot to a truly transformative economy, for example, circular economy or regenerative economy. So AI is not inherently harmful or helpful. It's simply a tool That's why what I want to make the point is the most impactful thing is that systemic forces for the change. And for that, we require courageous leadership that enhance business model, a robust policy frameworks that make doing good a default, and the ethical, moral compass that ensure the transition is just and equitable. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. The debate has begun. So, Martin.
Good evening, everyone. So I want to build on Andy's strong start about he showed how AI can really save the energy. But Gino also said that actually AI uses too much energy. So yeah, our data center expanding and also training an AI model really needs power, but that's not the whole story. So many of us are here about actually one AI inquiry actually use 10 times more than our Google search. So that's come from a very influential report that by the IEA. So it highlights the rapid growth of the data center energy demand. So, but however, this data actually is from the early 2024. So that's around 1.5 years before. So for most of the technology, actually 1.5 years, that doesn't too long. But for the AI, actually, it's already a few generations. So in that short period of time, actually AI efficiency improved dramatically. So actually Google Gemini that show a report show the AI in a very different way, a very current pictures I can show you. So the report said there's a 3 elements. One is the energy consumption, one is the carbon emission, and also one is about the water. So first, energy, actually one AI inquiry from the Gemini, it used 0.24 watt hours. So that's already equal to 1 Google search already. And equivalently, actually is similar to you watch the TV for 9 seconds. So about the carbon, okay? So it creates 0.03 grams of CO2. So that equivalent to a single human breath. Third, about the water. So it used 0.26 milliliters of water. So it's just roughly about 5 drops. So this incredible increase of the efficiency, not by accident, but actually AI company, for that company, the electricity is their major operation cost. So for a business perspective, actually, they have a very huge incentive to make the AI as much energy efficient as possible. So it's not only for the good of the planet, but it's also good for the business and their profit. So the real story tells us that AI does more use energy, but it does even more. It helps to manage better clean power energy. So actually, AI is not a problem, but it's the best tool to help the business reach the net zero. So look at the China big tech company, what they're doing. So first, Tencent, actually they use AI to manage their AI data center, which already run 54% of the green power. And then they use AI to turn their smart plants to predict the energy using and also optimize the energy consumption. So for Huawei, they use AI algorithm to make the solar panel to track the sunlight more effectively. So in the sunny day, so they will turn the solar panel to not blocking each other by the shadow. In the cloudy day, they will optimize the angle to capture more energy. And in the rainy day, they will even make the slight angle using the rainwater to wash the solar panel. So increase the power generation by 2%. So that's maybe a little bit, but actually we do it little bit by little bit, it will become very much. Last, Alibaba actually used AI to manage the liquid immersive cooling system. So they cut the energy use by 70%. So also, as the goal for the 2030, they target to use 100% of the clean energy for the data center. So this story telling us a big truth in the history. So every big changes for the technology in the industry will link to the energy change. But actually, AI from this company is helping them to reach the net zero. So last thing, AI, like a child, it needs food to grow, but actually it grows up to support the whole family. Similarly, AI consumes energy now, but actually it grows up to help us to manage the clean power better. So remember, AI is not a problem. It is a smart investment for a net zero world. Thank you.
Thank you. The second opposing member, please.
Good evening, everybody. I would like, in time-honored style, to start by reiterating the wording of the motion. This House believes that AI is the most impactful tool for a business to reach net zero. The most impactful tool for a business to reach net zero. Now, the question is not whether AI will massively impact our ability to realize a sustainable future. It will do. Whether for good or for bad, we shall see. Who knows? It may well play a key role in the battle against climate change. Will it help crack nuclear fusion early? Possibly. Will it transform energy efficiency by an order of magnitude? Maybe. Will it unlock cheaper carbon capture and storage? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. One day. We hope. But on today's evidence, the emissions from generative AI could actually present a major challenge on emissions. Now, as my proposer has said, some of these statistics may be out of date by 1.5 years. But for a business, I firmly believe that AI is not by any means the most important tool that we have to deploy. And I say this for 3 reasons. Firstly, we have much of the technology that we need already. Now, yes, AI will bring us new solutions in time, but we already have transformative solutions to hand that we need to use more now. Recycled plastics, textiles, and metals already generate between 50 and 70% less CO2. So let's put our purchasing power behind making them the norm. Renewable energy, and yes, nuclear, are mature technologies reaching real scale, so let's prioritize buying from these tried and tested solutions. Technologies like hydrogen for lowering the carbon footprint of hard-to-crack sectors like steel and concrete are here and set to reach scale. Let's get behind them. So let's make the next decade about really delivering on net zero for business by mainstreaming and normalizing these through our purchasing power and our investment. For a business, I believe that there is another priority that comes way above AI. And that is around policy, tax, and subsidies and what we need from them now. I would argue that much more than AI, what will really make the difference to a business being able to deliver net zero in time is an enabling fiscal and regulatory environment that enables us to use these technologies to their full potential. Shift taxation to reward and incentivize good climate practices and penalize the bad. Switch the $7 trillion of direct and indirect subsidies away from fossil fuels to renewables. Use regulation to create smart carbon taxes that support businesses in transitioning. If businesses put their weight behind arguing powerfully for such changes, I believe this will be truly transformative in enabling them to deliver net zero. And finally, distraction and delay. Every business is hoping for the magic bullet, and it may come. But if we pin our hopes on AI and it doesn't come in time and we haven't done what we need to do, then we are in trouble. So in summary, I'm not a Luddite. AI could offer businesses amazing solutions on climate and more in the years to come, and I'm excited to see what it can do. But any business has a fixed carbon budget. So if I had a top 5 now, it would be this: electrifying as much as I can and getting renewable power, getting behind recycled and renewable materials, lobbying for an enabling regulatory and financial environment, engaging my key suppliers in a decarbonisation programme, and increasing subject literacy amongst my teams and creating a culture of excitement and optimism about decarbonisation as a tool for competitive advantage and growth today. Now, one day, AI may, indeed will, learn that list. But for now, let's double down on the solutions we have, let's get on with it, and let AI do its job when it's ready. So I urge you to reject this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. The third speaker from the proposing team.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me take this debate from theory to practice with what we've actually done inside supply chain does serve apparel and other industry. First, the problem, waste from unsold inventory and samples. Fashion is a fast-growing, moving business. Globally, we make about 80 to 150 billion garments a year. And as much as 40% never get sold. That can come up to 60 billion pieces wasted, contributing to about 92 million tons of textile thrown away every year. Imagine a garbage truck with full load of clothes dumped into the landfill every single second. That's the reality, okay? On top of that, each new style used to require about 6 physical samples before productions, with an estimate about 100 to 300 styles created each year. That makes up to 1.8 billion garments, fabric, waters, electricity, transport, produced just for testing, not for selling. So we changed the way decisions are made by putting data first with AI. It's happening, not theory. Our trend engine scans e-commerce, social media, and fashion shows to predict what customer will actually buy. That means fewer wrong guesses, less overproductions, and less stock sitting in warehouses. And our AI design ideations with virtual try-on platform create realistic digital designs for brands to review on virtual models. Instead of 6 samples, we now need only 1 final fitting sample. So why does this matter? Because making clothes is not free. It takes huge resources. Take a simple cotton t-shirt, for example. It requires about 2,500 liters of water and emits 4.4 kilograms of CO2 just to make one. If the industry cuts physical sampling from 6 to 1 using AI before confirming each style, we could avoid 1.5 billion unnecessary garments a year. That would eliminate 6.6 million tons of CO2, the same as removing 1.4 million gasoline cars off the road or 5.6 million EVs off the road a year, and save about 3.7 trillion liters of water, enough to meet the basic drinking water needs for 5 billion people for a year. And this is a scale that we change possible when we use AI to rethink how we work, and it's working right now. Second, the biggest challenge, Scope 3 emissions. For those less familiar, Scope 1 is emissions from your own facilities. Scope 2 is from the electricity you buy. Scope 3 is everything else, your suppliers, your factory, your materials. And here's the key. In fashion and most industry, Scope 3 is the biggest share, often account for 70 to 90% of CO2 emissions. But it's also the hardest to measure because it's scattered across thousands of suppliers. In the past, getting product-level data emissions from our supply chain was nearly impossible. Now, AI can help capture and clean information across multiple tiers and link it to each product. That means we can see whether the real problem is in fabric fabrications, yarn spinning, fabrics dyeing, cutting, sewing, finishing, or somewhere else, and focus our actions on where we can make the biggest impact right now. Third, this is not just fashions. The same patterns apply across industries. In cement, AI control systems have cut fuel usage and boost efficiencies, delivering up to 7% lower emissions in one of the most difficult sectors. In steel, AI begins to optimize furnaces and raw material usage. Even small gains matter here, since steel alone produces about 7% of CO2 globally. So why do I believe AI is the most impactful tool for net zero? Because it changes the decisions that create emissions upfront. It prevents the wrong products from being made, eliminates wasteful steps like multiple samples, pinpoint supply chain hotspots, and continuously optimize industrial processes. And let me close off with this. The fact that all of us gathered here already shows how important AI has become across all industry. It's not just a tool, it's the lever that makes net zero achievable in real economy, not just on the paper. And that's why AI is the most impactful tool. We have to get there. I still have 20 seconds. Look at all these booths out there in the past 2 days. I heard that almost every single booth, right, mentioned about AI. So that means how important AI is. So for those 35% who was not voting yes, please change your mind. Go for the 65%. Thank you.
with time to spare. The last speaker, please, on the opposing side.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and fellow debaters, good evening. I'm Ophelia Lind, Vice Chairperson of Friends of the Earth Hong Kong, where we championed environmental advocates in Hong Kong for over 4 decades, pushing the policies to protect our nature's heritage and combat climate change. I'm also the founding president of SME Sustainability Society in Hong Kong, empowering small and medium enterprises, the backbone of our economy, to adopt sustainable practices for a greener future. Today, as part of the opposing team in this great debate by ReThink Hong Kong, I firmly oppose the motion. AI is the most impactful tool for a business to achieve net zero. While AI has a supporting role, calling it the most impactful tool is not just an overstatement. It's a dangerous distraction from the strategies that truly drive change. So what is the most impactful? Let's take a look. Number 1, policy and regulations. Real large-scale progress has always come from bold government action, not tech gadgets. Hong Kong's waste charging scheme and EV incentives are cutting emissions right now without a single algorithm. Global policy, like carbon pricing, drives decarbonization at a scale AI can only dream of. AI processes data, but it doesn't enforce compliance. Without policy, it's just one of many tools, far from the most impactful. Number 2, green finance. This is the true engine for change. As Asia Green Finance Hub, Hong Kong channels capital through green bonds and sustainable loans directly into renewable and sustainable infrastructure. This gives business, especially SMEs, the immediate capital to adopt green technologies and cut emissions. Unlike AI, which required expensive expertise, green finance is inclusive and actionable now. Number 3, people and collaboration. The real powerhouse for net zero is all of you. SME makes up over 98% of our business. Through my society, I can see the leading the way in circular economies and waste reduction. Friends of the Earth mobilize thousands in tree planting and urban greening. These grassroots efforts create behavioral shift and community resilience that AI cannot replicate. Leadership and collaboration across sectors mobilize entire societies. AI operates in a silo. Ladies and gentlemen, the path to net zero is not paved by algorithm alone. It builds on the courage of our actions, the heart of our communities, and the hope for the thriving planet. AI may dazzle with its promises, but it pales beside the transformative power of policy, people, leadership, collaboration, and green finance. I implore you, all few hundred leaders here today, to pause and rethink our children's future, Hong Kong's vibrant ecosystems, and our shared home demand solutions that unite us, not AI machines. Vote against emotions with conviction. Stand with our team to reject the myth of AI. Your vote today can amplify the voices of organizations like Friends of the Earth, Hong Kong, and SME Sustainability Society, ensuring the sustainable Hong Kong for our generation to come. Please support us. Thank you.
Before we invite the closing speaker to speak, I ask you all to take a few seconds and breathe deeply, reflect on what you've heard. Yes, you're ready. And I think, Andy, you are the closing speaker, right? You have 4 minutes. Take another deep breath. And Andy, you can take another deep breath.
I need that deep breath, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to conclude our debate. But let me ask you a question first. How many of you use AI today? How many of you use ChatGPT? How many of you use DeepSeek? You probably used it without even realizing it because it's so natural to you. And why do you use it? Because it gets things done faster, smarter, and better, right? So imagine we use that logic to solve the most urgent challenge in our time, achieving net zero. Martin said that AI uses energy, but it also helps us switch to clean energy faster and smarter. Big Chinese tech firms like Tencent, Huawei, Alibaba are using AI to make green power, cut waste, lower emission. These examples show that AI isn't part of the problem. It is a key part of the solution. Keith explains how AI helps reduce waste in fashion by predicting trends, using virtual samples, saving water, cutting emissions. It also helps track and lower emissions across supply chain, especially the hard-to-measure ones from suppliers. Beyond fashion, industries like cement, steel, chemical are using AI to improve efficiency, fight climate change, making AI a key tool for reaching net zero. From these examples, we see that AI isn't just another tool in the sustainability toolkit. It's an engine that's driving transformation. Humans cannot juggle thousands of variables at once. AI can. And it does so with accuracy, consistency, and zero fatigue. Across the globe, nations are betting on AI to power the green transition. China's AI Plus strategy is building smart energy systems and green manufacturing. Singapore's National AI Strategy 2.0 uses AI for climate modeling and sustainable logistics. Japan is deploying AI for disaster prediction, biodiversity protection. South Korea's Digital New Deal puts AI at the heart of resource efficiency and resilient infrastructure. And it's not just governments. Retail giants are leading charge. Alibaba uses AI for smart city logistics, low-emission delivery. IKEA applies it to energy optimization, circular economy models. Nike integrates AI into product lifecycle analysis to reduce environmental impact. So let's be honest. If AI cannot find the inefficiencies, no one can. This isn't innovation for innovation's sake. It's survival. And AI isn't just the most impactful tool to help businesses achieve net zero. It may be humanity's only hope for a sustainable future. I thank you so much.
Oh. Very good. Matt. Take another deep breath.
I'm all that stands between you and a beer, just like me. So, just to remind everybody of the motion, the House believes that AI is the most impactful tool for business to reach net zero. I do not believe that is the case, and I'll reiterate the reasons in a minute. But just to respond to Andy, Andy asked you whether you'd used AI tools and said you'd probably done it without noticing it. Well, what do you think has happened to your digital footprint since you did? It will have gone up. And the reality is that when we look at AI, AI is not responsible for the enormous reductions that we have seen so far. The transformation of solar panel efficiency, the drop in wind turbines, that has been done without it. Now, it will make them different in future, but AI should not claim credit for that so far. Right now, AI is serving to increase emissions. The first thing I want to say is we need to think about absolute versus intensity. What we've heard a lot of is that AI is making things more efficient, more optimized. But ultimately, if we drive a system of mass linear consumption and we use AI to make it a little more efficient, my suspicion is that those emissions will go up. Are the emissions from fast fashion going down despite the efficiencies gained? No, they're not. They're going up. So we need to think about absolute versus emissions intensity. When AI shows that it can work with a business which is driving its absolute emissions down at scale, then we'll believe it, but I haven't seen it yet. Secondly, the existing technologies that we have. We do have what we need. That is not to be a Luddite and saying that I don't want new technology. I would love nuclear fusion to become a reality tomorrow. But today, we have renewable power, we have battery storage, we have small modular reactors, we have recycled materials. We need circular systems to ensure that all of the waste that comes out of the fast fashion industry actually goes physically back into a system that can recycle it. AI, again, might make that more efficient and better in the future, but there's some big, basic stuff that business needs to do today to cut its emissions substantially, its absolute emissions. We also need to think about AI. Let me just get my point here. Oh, it is really not about AI's long-term capacity, but about what we need to do now. We have a finite carbon budget. By 2050, we need to have our emissions fixed to a certain tonnage in order to hit net zero. We can't wait for AI to come online. I hope it accelerates it, but the next decade is the decade to deliver. So right now, is AI the most important thing for business? No. Focus on those big dial turners, materials, renewable energy, policies to enable circular systems to come into place. All of that will make the difference. So let's let AI have a crack at it when it's ready in a few years' time. But for today, I think there's real danger in deciding that it is going to become the most impactful tool in a business's strategy for net zero. It could distract us, and distraction is the last thing we need. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to take the second vote. We will see whether they have persuaded you otherwise. Please help us to do this again. Yes, you're able to do it? Very good, thank you. Thank you. Are you voting? Do you need more time? Maybe a few more seconds. Right, there we are. Okay. Actually, the agree has gone down. Whoa. Whoa. Well, I think the sentiments in the room is clear. And before I close the debate, I would like to share one perspective with you. Clearly, the proposing side has a problem. They have no girls. Maybe you could have given the girl to them, right? Yes. But thank you so much for staying for the debate, and thank you, debaters, for willingness to have a go. Maybe I can just ask the proposing team, do you actually believe in the motion? What would you have voted? Yes, you really believe it, yes? There we are. So thank you for the debate.